let's talk about the new 2021 M3 and M4, but before that, let's do a quick little poll. Let's quiet that down a little bit. So the new M3 and M4 have been so controversial because that car, I'm gonna break it down to a few pieces, right? So gonna talk about performance, styling, pricing, and the whole front bumper situation. So let's talk about performance first, right? So the previous M3 came out with about 420 horsepower, super fast car, twin turbo inline six. Now this new one has a nice bump in power. You're looking at 473 happy horses. 473. And now this is without us in the community going into it, reflashing it, putting boot mod on it, and making even more power. That is an unbelievable amount of horsepower to start off with. Man, I can't wait to get my hands on one of those. Power's there, torque is there. Next, let's go to styling. So in the styling department, now, styling is all personal preference. Alright, personal preference. I can't talk. I personally think the M3 and M4 look absolutely amazing. I love the back end. I love the interior. I love in the M4 how it has the cutouts in those carbon fiber seats. I like that it has a variable drift traction control system that will allow you to slide the car a certain amount that you tell the car you want it to slide. Not only that, it will record and tell you how long you held the drift for. That's so cool. It's just like one of those nerdy car things to fall in love with. So I love that. Now, the things that I don't like about it, I don't like the front end. Both of them look like Thomas the Train are coming at me, and I'm not into that. That's the first thing. The second thing is, now, as cars in general, cars have been getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't feel as though this much size is needed. So I know that a lot of the extra size and weight of all the cars coming out today are due to a lot of new safety features. Lane departure warnings, side airbags, curtain airbags, frontal airbags, knee airbags, literally airbags everywhere. So I understand that part. They're also using better materials to keep the cockpit safer, the people inside the car safer, etc., etc. Now, I love all that, but some of the systems kind of take away from that driving experience. Like if you look at the tach on the new M3 and M4, it's all digital. There's no analog anything anymore on those cars. So some things take away from the driving experience, right? So one of the things that also takes away from it, in my opinion, is the lane departure system. Now, I understand you can turn the lane departure off. You have to like go into the settings and play with it, and you can turn it off. Now, I've driven some of the new BMWs that have that lane departure assist, and when I first drove it, it confused the out of me. Why are you going so slow? It confused the out of me because I went to change lanes and it didn't signal as per typical BMW driver, and yeah, it was fighting me. So I actually had to like grab the wheel more, force it over, and then I started to realize, now this is happening consistently every time I'm going over the white lines to change lanes. This isn't a car thing. I didn't like hit a bump. There isn't a groove in the road. This is just a system. So I had to stop the car, go into the settings, turn all that stuff off so I could actually change lanes as I need to change lanes. Now, pricing. So BMWs are definitely not a Camry or Corolla. They're not going to come out and be like, they're $20,000. No, they're not $20,000. So when you're looking at the new M3 and M4, you're looking at starting just around $70,000. It's like $69 and some odd $1,000. When you compare it to the F80, they came out right around $67,000 for the 2018. The pricing they're giving does make sense. It's not totally out of the blue. They're not charging $90,000 all of a sudden for this new M3 and M4. And when you talk about value for money, I think you're getting a ton of value for money. You're getting a car that makes just under 500 horsepower that you can easily tune, and I'm sure make close to 600 horsepower on a little bit of ethanol. Looks striking, looks really nice on the inside, looks striking on the outside. almost got hit there. As far as value for money, I think you're getting a ton of car for that price and all the new technology that you'd want out of it, even a little more technology than you probably want out of it. And all wrapped up with that nice BMW driving experience bow. Now, me personally, I would wait a couple years, let it drop off, because typical BMW and German cars, they do depreciate pretty quickly, especially the brand new ones. Now, that being said, M3 specifically hold their value pretty well. The M4, I don't really think it's gonna hold its value that well. People love the M4, but the M3 is just, it's the same car with 2 more doors. Looks just as nice. I don't know why you wouldn't take the M3. I personally would take the M3. Now, so let's talk about the most controversial part of this car, the front end. Man, that front end is so ugly. It honestly looks like Thomas the Train is coming at you. I'm not into it. I like the back end, I like the interior. I'm not super sold on the all digital dash, but that's fine. That's just kind of the direction we're going, unfortunately. Carbon fiber on the inside looks beautiful. Body lines on the outside look wonderful. The wheels look really nice on the M3. On the M4, the seats with the cutouts, again, look super clean to me. But as soon as you look at the front end of the car, you're like, why? Why did you mess it up with that front end? Some BMW exec signed off on that and went, this is a good idea. Wrong. He should be fired. Essentially, I think what BMW is doing is they're kind of trying to follow the trend of like Audi and Mercedes, that let's do big grills. Everything today is about big grills. Big grill Mercedes, big grill Audi, big grill German. So I think BMW is trying to do it too, but you don't need to follow that specific trend, BMW. Your cars look so nice without it. And I know it looks nice without it because an amazing company popped up called Prior Design. Now, Prior Design, essentially what they did was they took the front end of the M3 and they went, we don't like it, let's fix it. And that's exactly what they did. They went back to the more form-fitting, properly styled, regular-sized grille on the new M3s that you can just pop that bumper on, paint it, and call it a day. The fact that BMW themselves didn't put that bumper on is mind-blowing to me. This Tesla is all over the road. Bro, I need you to not hit me. You have a ton of computers on your car. Don't do it. The fact that BMW didn't install this bumper themselves blows my mind. I'm really curious to see now, because of all the backlash, if BMW on their further generations are going to start putting slightly smaller grills. Now, I don't think so. I think they're going to keep following the trend of like big grill German, but I hope BMW execs pick up on the fact that the grill is too big. It just doesn't fit the body lines of the car. To wrap up the new 2021 M3 and M4, do I think it's a great buy? Yes. Do I think you should immediately call Prior Design and get that new front bumper on it? Also, yes. If I were to get it right when it came out, or if I get that new M3, M4 in general, I would definitely go to Prior Design, get that new front bumper. I think that cleans up the whole car, because then you're getting a car that already has a great rear end, already has a great side profile, great wheels, great interior. I can't really do anything about that digital dash. But then with the Prior Design bumper, you have a beautiful front end again. Let's do one last pull and call it there. Oh. All right. In the road that like to make noise. Pew pew pew! Pop pop pop. See you guys on the next one.